So hi guys, so this is where we left off. Now it's time to go ahead and furnish the interior of the house. I started by adding lights throughout the house to make sure each room is well lit and cozy. Then I sectioned off the bedroom area first and then added a staircase to connect the different levels. Then after that, I sectioned off the bathroom, added some lights, and make sure to choose unique flooring for each room to give them their own personality. I also placed doors for each section to complete the layout and make everything accessible. Next, I move on to the kitchen. And let me tell you, picking the swatch for the counters was a bit of a challenge. I ended up switching it a few times until I found one that really fit the vibe I was going for. Then, as you can see in the video, I added the stove and also the refrigerator, which I switched places. Um, then I also added the wall paint to match the room vibes. Then I added the shelves in the kitchen. I did change the swatch uh, for the shelves and the counter a couple of times since I'm not really sure which one I'm gonna choose, but then I end up with this pink one. I do think that this matched the vibes I'm going for. After that, I placed the sink and started adding all the cute little kitchen decorations. As you can see in the video, I added jars on the shelves and I did um, add some plants as well for fresh touch. I changed the swatch from all the jars that I added on the shelves, different swatches just to make sure it has a different look in them. And I do think they look so cute in the shelves there. And of course, more clutter on the counters. I added utensil holders, kitchen canisters, more jars. I even added knife holder. I even added hanging dry herbs and an apron hanging on the wall. I picked the pink one to match the countertop color. I also added a trash can. I switched the swatch on that one to dark brown. I continued adding more clutter like the tissue, knife rack, seasoning jars as well near the stove. And yeah, I arrange it just to make sure it fits perfectly in the counter. Then I added a stand mixer, which I think it's a perfect final touch for this cute little kitchen. Then I added a small kitchen dining table and some chairs to match. For the windows, I added curtains on each one. I also picked a centerpiece on the dining table to make it feel more lived in. And above the curtains, I placed some decorative vines to give off a dreamy, whimsical vibe. And I did add more clutter in the kitchen. I thought I was finished, but I wasn't. I just wanted to make it look more lived in, if I may say. I also switched the swatches from those containers. And then I did rearrange the shelves a bit to fit better with the refrigerator placement. And once everything was aligned, the kitchen was officially done. I also changed the lighting decor to match the woodsy vibe I'm going for. Moving on to the living room, I added a cozy sofa, a couch, a center table, and a console table for the TV. I also changed the swatches on the furniture pieces to make sure they match the rest of the color scheme. I added the TV on top of the console table, then added some plants next to the TV for decorations, and also a hanging plant as well to match the fresh indoor jungle vibe. Then I added a vinyl player for some vintage flair and placed a nice rug in the center to define the living room and also the dining space. In this area, I wasn't sure what to place first, but I ended up starting with the fireplace. Then I added some plants decoration on top to make it feel more cozy. I also changed the swatch of the fireplace to better match the overall aesthetic of the space. Near the front door, I placed a hanging coat rack for my team to hang their jackets and scarves. And I added more clutter around the house. I stacked a stack of books on the coffee table or the center table. And I even placed an umbrella stand near the door so they're prepared for rainy days. I added a boot rack, um, a wall decor, um, clothing for my fairy sim. I also put a cabinet near the fireplace for decorations. So yeah, I just basically put all the clutter for the house to make it more, like I said, lived in. I added those lights in the wall and a clock in the window. Yeah, I think the living room is all finished. Um, but yeah, I feel like it's so cozy and matches the vibes of what I'm going for. In the bathroom, I didn't do much. I just added all the things or all the essentials my Sims would need, like a toilet, a bathtub, sink, a mirror, along with a shower. Like everything my Sims need is in there. Um, it's a pretty simple setup, but I added some clutter like folded towels, shampoo bottles, soap, tissues, bath robe, even a little rug and hair dryer, just to give it that homey lived in feel, basically. Next up, the bedroom. I changed the wall paint. I chose these woodsy vibe in it. I also placed a magical fairy bed. Again, it just gives off those fantasy vibes that I'm going for. I also added one of my favorite pieces in this build, a tree-shaped bookshelves with a little shelves on the branches. It's so whimsical and unique. I also added some mushroom-shaped shelves on the wall too and decorated them with fairy lights, a stack of books, an alarm clock, and even a retro-style telephone for extra clutter. Then finally, in the tower space at the top, I created a little art studio and I added an easel, painting supplies, paint tubes, canvases, and a stool. Basically, everything a creative sim would need to work on their painting skills. I even put in a little side table for brushes, a cup of cleaning tools, and a little source to make it feel like a real studio. And that's it for this build. Here's what it looks like in the outside. And here's what the finished interior looks like: fully furnished, detailed, and ready for gameplay. I'm honestly so happy with how cozy and personalized each room turned out. I tried to make every corner feel unique, functional, and a little bit magical, perfect for storytelling or just giving your Sims a cute and comfy place to live. If you enjoy this interior build, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more Sims 4 content, and let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!